What if someone or something could take over your mind and body, making you do exactly what it wanted? In nature, certain parasites do exactly that, pushing beyond survival to command and control their host. Today, we'll be uncovering some of these parasites that have evolved these mind-bending strategies to take over and manipulate different animals for their own bidding. We begin with the tongue-eating louse, the Chimathoa exica, I don't know how to pronounce that to be honest, a parasitic isopod that targets fish. Measuring around 8 to 10 millimeters in length, this creature is no ordinary parasite. Once it finds its way inside a fish's mouth, the louse clamps on to the base of the fish's tongue. By restricting blood flow, the louse causes the tongue to atrophy and fall off, creating an opportunity that it's perfectly adapted for. The louse attached itself in the place of the fish's tongue, securing itself as a permanent replacement. The integration isn't superficial. The louse modified its legs and structure to allow it to move in sync with the fish's jaw, effectively mimicking a real tongue with minimal harm to the host. This relationship allows the parasite a long-term residence where it feeds on the fish's blood and mucus, essentially controlling the host's mouth without killing it. Interestingly, many fishes have developed various defensive mechanisms to combat these parasites, including grooming behaviors and immune responses. But in this case, the louse wins out. Now let's move on from mouths to minds with our next parasite. Unlike the tongue-eating louse, the green-banded broodsack, oh my god, what kind of name is that? Leucochloridium paradoxum, relies on visual manipulation to spread. This parasitic flatworm begins in bird droppings, which are accidentally consumed by land snails. Once inside the snails, it migrates to the eye stalks, where it creates pulsating bright-colored sacs that resembles caterpillars. These sacs can reach up to 2 to 4 millimeters in width and 10 to 15 millimeters in length. This transformation isn't just for show. The pulsating movement draws the attention of birds, making the snail an easy target. When a bird consumes the infected snail, the parasite continues its life cycle in the bird's digestive system, producing eggs that are excreted back into the environment to infect new snails. A seemingly innocent snail is manipulated into being prey for a bird. Sorry to pause the video here, but if you like the video so far, please like, share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and it supports the channel in so many ways. Anyways, I'll continue the video here. Next, let's examine a fungus that turns its host into literal zombies. The fungus Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, is a parasitic fungus known for its ability to turn ants into zombies. This fungus releases spores that attach to a passing ant, invading its body and spreading through its tissue. Over the course of several days, the fungus manipulates the ant's behavior, compelling it to leave its colony and climb to a location with ideal humidity and temperature. Once it reaches the right height, the ant clamps down with its mandibles onto a leaf or a twig in what scientists calls a death grip. The fungus then kills the ant and grows a stalk from its head, releasing spores into the environment to infect new hosts. This phenomenon is one example of how fungi can influence animal behavior. Many fungi have evolved unique mechanisms to ensure their survival, showcasing the diverse strategies of nature. Moving from mind control to reproductive manipulation, let's explore a parasite that takes over crabs. Succulina carcini is a barnacle that parasitizes crabs, completely altering their reproductive biology. When the larval Succulina settles on a crab, it burrows into the crab's exoskeleton and spreads throughout its body. Succulina then affects the crab's hormonal balance, effectively castrating it and turning it into a host for the parasite's own offspring. Once inside, Succulina can grow into a sac-like structure that protrudes from the crab's abdomen, making the crab appear pregnant, even though it can no longer produce its own young. This manipulation forces the crab to take care for the parasite's larva, maintaining its safety until it's ready to emerge. Not only does the parasite thrive, but it also influences the entire population dynamics of crabs. Now let's explore a fluke that orchestrates its host's behavior to ensure its own success. Decro Oh my. Sometimes, why do they name these things? Could you just call it a lancet liver fluke or something? You know what? I'll just call it like that. The lancet liver fluke has a fascinating multi-host life cycle. It starts when the fluke eggs are excreted in the droppings of infected animals, which are then consumed by snails. Inside the snails, the fluke develops and is eventually excreted in a slime ball, which is then eaten by ants. Once inside an ant, the fluke alters the ant's behavior, compelling it to climb on top of a blade of grass. grass. The ant becomes a target for grazing animals, enhancing the fluke's chances of reaching its primary host. The fluke's influence makes the ant more likely to be consumed, allowing the life cycle to continue. Now, let's talk about the hairworm. The hairworm, or Nematomorpha, hey, I actually kind of like made the correct pronunciation, I think, is another fascinating parasite that targets insects, particularly crickets. Adult hairworms can grow to impressive lengths, reaching up to 30 centimeters, while their host may only be a few centimeters long. After the larva infects a cricket, they grow within the host, gradually taking control of its nervous systems. When it's ready to emerge, the hairworm triggers an overwhelming urge in the cricket to seek out water. Their behavior compels the cricket to jump into a pond or stream, allowing the fully grown hairworm to exit the host's body and continue its life cycle in the aquatic environment. From the tongue-eating louse to the hairworm, these parasites reveal a hidden world where manipulation and survival intertwine. Each one plays a unique role in the ecosystem they inhabit, highlighting the intricate relationship that defines life on Earth. Parasites reminds us that nature is full of surprises, with adaptations that can both amaze and disturb. Next time you find yourself in the great outdoors, take a moment to consider the unseen battles playing out all around you. Nature is not just a backdrop. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.